from Studio A at 1 Biloxi Square in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yep.
Welcome into the Grandpa and Pappy Show.
Hola, hola.
It is good to have everybody with us as we make our way through this week together. We hope everybody's doing well.
Top of the day to you all.
Yeah.
Welcome aboard.
We have an interesting program today talking about whether President Trump should go ahead and concede the election. We got some great opinions from you guys, as usual.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you one thing, Pappy, before we get started reading some of our opinions from our viewers.
Yeah.
More and more evidence is coming to light about the fraud that has taken place during the elections.
Who?
And we're seeing more and more testimony and people giving affidavits stating what they have witnessed under perjury of the law. And I just cannot understand why the mainstream media is not giving any coverage. You hear nothing, absolutely nothing from the mainstream media about any of this.
Same reason Zuckerberg is slapping your hand for saying anything non-democratic.
Yeah, well, that's pretty well true, and it just goes to show you the state of what our media is in. Yeah. And if it wasn't for Newsmax and One American Network, man, people just wouldn't get any kind.
I'm an OAN guy.
Yeah,
I love OAN.
Yeah,
when I go, that's where I go.
Yeah. But we were watching several videos this morning from people who actually testified at some of these states' hearings on the election, and it was frightening.
Well, this is who they
were
refer to
observers.
as the whistleblowers. Yeah.
They were observers, and we had the one we watched this morning were two truck drivers, contracted truck drivers for the Postal Service, delivering boxes and boxes and boxes of ballots
to
the Election Bureau in that state after hours.
Yeah.
So, we keep hearing some of our, viewers have said, where is the evidence? Yeah. Well, there's all kinds of evidence. But you're not hearing them because the mainstream media is not reporting it in any way.
The bottom line is either right or wrong. There's no indifference.
And regardless of who gets elected as president, what bothers me and Special K, we were talking this morning, is the fact of the integrity of the election system.
Yeah.
If it's in jeopardy, then our republic goes to hell.
Well, that's exactly what we're looking at.
Yeah, I know. And that's when all of these, well, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's just gotten to a point where it's funny, and patriots are going to answer the bell.
It's funny, but it's not.
It's not funny.
There's some
no,
serious
you're
stuff
right.
going on out there.
Anyway, we're talking, should President Trump concede the election? Let's get to what you thought. Alexander Schmidneck said, sadly, I think yes, there has been zero proof of widespread fraud that he is claiming. And Alexander, I just gave you a perfect example of there is a lot of evidence, but the mainstream media is just not covering it.
I'm not sure what it is. There's something stinky going on. I know that.
Yeah, I agree.
Bobby Sims says, I'm a huge Trump fan, but I keep wondering why all the lawsuits being filed by his legal team keep getting turned down.
Good question.
Yeah. Is it because the judges hearing the cases are Democrat, or is there really no hard evidence of voting tampering? If no hard evidence is presented to the American people in the next 2 weeks, then yes, he should concede the race and let America settle down for the good of the country.
Well, that's,
good
Bobby,
perspective.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I'm thinking it's really the former. I mean, all of these judges hearing these things are Democratic judges. So There you go. I mean, you can take that for what it's worth.
Well, and me, I mean, if it's wrong, if there's wrongdoing, hell, I could care less if it took a year to straighten out. As long as it got straightened out,
As long as it gets straightened out.
Yeah.
Liz Tucker Reynolds said to check what happened in Germany when they went after the Dominion voting machines where 6 men were killed. Then it was blamed on a helicopter crash. To my way of thinking, they were hiding something. It certainly wasn't a Black Friday shoe sale, but I watched the legal part of it and not the news part. It's your comprehension of what you see.
Exactly.
Well, that's a good point, Liz. Thank you.
Yeah, it is. Jimmy Waldy of Houston says, with court after court rejecting all cases, it's becoming most likely that Biden will get the crown. I do feel the public is greatly misled by a very biased media over the past 4 years. This is most likely the first and only time in history that an extremely successful president will not see a second term. And that's a crying ass shame, isn't it, Jimmy?
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, like or dislike President Trump, he has accomplished more in 4 years than the previous 3 presidents did in 24 combined years.
And certainly more than Biden in the last 40, never mind.
How many years he's been in there, yeah. Terry Crowe said no, don't concede. Trump's opposition are all traitors. Let the truth come to light. The opposition only want total control of the American people. They should be tried and sentenced to the full extent of the laws of our Constitution. As I can see it, they have not been campaigning for the seat of the presidency. They have had their minions do that for them. The left is so corrupt that it will take many years to clean it up. The truth will be known, and it will shock the world. We are the most prosperous country in the world and should not be controlled by a communist regime. I have never thought I am better than anyone until now. We're better than this mess we call Democrats. Resist, American people. Be America strong.
That is very well said, guys.
Very well.
Yep, and I agree. Rena Golden also said no because he has come too far to stop, and there's been proof that fraud has taken place, and not just with this election. I will support President Trump to the very end.
Ronnie Melton said whatever proof is existing, they should release it to the American people and let them decide for themselves. But there lies another problem. The mainstream media would not cover any release of information if it made Joe Biden or the Democrats look bad. I'm sure that is why Trump's lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, has not released it. With sworn depositions, video of ballots being thrown away, not verifying signatures, and video of some election officials admitting they were instructed to declare some Trump votes as ineligible, I say redo the election without having mail-in ballots and see where the chips fall.
Well, that'd be one way of resolving it, I guess.
Yeah, that's an interesting way to look at it, Ronnie, and I'm not so sure I don't agree with you.
Well, with all the, I mean, they could do it for the amount of money they're spending on yakking around and CFing this whole mess, you know.
Yeah.
Put it to good use and have
For
a
sure.
re-election. Send it to me.
Yeah,
I'll
I
run
can use it.
for the office.
I'd like to get out of debt. I sure
Absolutely.
would.
Michelle Motley Smith said the courts are passing it to the Supreme Court of the United States. President Trump will win another 4 years.
Well, I like your attitude, Michelle. Thank you for that.
This just did.
Jennifer Lewis agreed, saying the courts want the Supreme Court to make the decision if the election was rigged. But remember this. Members of the Supreme Court do not want to have to make a decision on this and be labeled for the rest of their careers. I believe the Supreme Court will not hear the evidence, which will force the House of Representatives to cast one state vote for the candidate. The Constitution tells us this must happen. If it does, Trump will win because the majority of states are red and voted for Trump. Remember, the states only get to cast one vote, no matter how big or populated they are. And that is a fact.
Okay, and this is each and every state
Yeah.
of the union.
Yeah, so, you know, California Texas and New York, they have the biggest populated areas.
Yep.
You know, we know Texas is red, so that'll go. And that's only 2 votes for Biden, should California and New York cast their votes for Joe Biden.
Yeah.
But if you look at a map at the way the election went, over 3/4 of the states are red.
Yeah.
So there you go. If
Well,
it goes to the
Trump.
House of Representatives, Trump will win the election.
You know, as opposed to what the news sources were saying they were. So, yeah. Hey. Darletta, Macaulay Holland, Chris Schomburg, Ronnie Taylor, Beth Cummings, and Michelle Green all said no, he should not concede the election. And I agree.
Yeah. Jerry Williamson said nothing in the Constitution states he has to concede. If not my president and Joe Biden is certified, then Trump said he will leave, but will not concede. And that's fine with me.
By God. Suits me well.
Here's your little darling.
Yeah, my little sweet, gorgeous little daughter-in-law said no, let it go to the House. If the House votes, then Trump will be president. You may think, well, Democrats run the House. Oh, but wait, 1 vote per state will be tallied. There are more Republican states and Democratic states in the U.S. Trump better not concede. And by God, she means that too. So much fraud has been proven. Arizona had their voter fraud hearing yesterday. It was an 11-hour hearing. The evidence of fraud was alarming, but guess what? No one out of the popular mainstream media outlet ever talked about it. Sounds kind of fishy, huh? I think so, too. On a side note, One America News aired the hearing, and you can find it on YouTube also. That's if they don't take it down. Social media censoring is a whole other topic. You know, and
Of which we've kind of
profound,
talked about,
guys,
yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sending that in. Love you guys, by the way.
Very, very wise.
Yeah, but she's right. She is
Yeah.
absolutely right.
David Watson said, hell no. This is a coup and must be stopped. It's treason. Stephen W. Crenshaw, Art Smalley, and David Cooper all agreed and said, absolutely not.
There you
Do
go.
not concede.
And Charlie George says as long as he doesn't concede, the House will have to pick the winner with 1 vote per state. I say no concession.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, more and more people know this. They have been educated on what will happen if it does go to the House and what the Constitution says.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
there you go.
Well, they'll find a way to try to screw with that, too. So.
Probably so. Probably so. John Bossy said our electoral process isn't complete until the Electoral College meets. If, at that time, the electors vote to elect Biden, then the president should invite him to the White House and publicly congratulate him. We all know they cheated, but without proof in a court of law, there is nothing.
Yeah, there's key words, court of law. So, how rigged are most of those?
Ain't that so?
And last but not least, Reynaldo Cruz said it's important to get this election right. If fraud was committed, let it come out to the public, then we can decide what to do with the confines of the Constitution. With the mainstream media withholding any news that sheds a bad light on the Democrats, it is hard for Hispanic communities to get accurate information. Hispanics are much smarter than the people give us credit for. I believe more of us voted for President Trump in the election than you would imagine. Because of the corruption in Mexico, we don't want to see that in America. We just want to live quietly in this country legally, make a living for our families, and give our children a chance to prosper in the future.
You know, Ronaldo, that's a very good
profound,
statement,
brother. Yeah,
and very well said.
Absolutely.
This from a Hispanic gentleman, from their perspective of the way things are shaping up, Pappy.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got to look at it.
Well, I mean, and nobody's, in my opinion, I mean, I'm a West Texas boy, so I was out there amongst a lot of this, you know. I mean, and nobody's worked harder and more peaceful to obtain American citizenship than Hispanics.
Yeah.
Or Mexicans that are coming over.
That is correct.
And they have every damn right to do so, you know.
And we know some Hispanics. We know some Hispanics
very
who are absolutely furious
Oh, yeah.
at giving illegal aliens any kind of support or anything like that. Yeah, and You know, and you look at all these Hispanics that have taken all of these courses to become an American citizen.
Yeah.
Now, it's grueling.
It is.
It's very grueling.
Yeah, it's not an easy process.
I guarantee you that some of these folks, be it Hispanic, Asian, African American, Nigerian, it doesn't matter what nationality you came from when you came to America legally, and you worked hard to get your citizenship. I can almost bet you $1 to a dime that any of these people can tell you more about the history of the United States than a lot of you can. Yeah. And I'm not trying to cut you down or anything. I'm just telling you fact.
I'm not taking that bet.
It is fact. I mean, we've known a couple of people that were studying, and they were asking us questions that, and I'm a history buff, that I couldn't answer.
Yep.
You know. So I'm just saying, maybe what they're teaching citizenship courses needs to be instigated in our schools again.
Well, yeah.
Ain't that something? Well, we'll see how all of this plays out, Pappy, in the coming days.
The schools are trying to get rid of that history.
Yes, I know that.
It's probably not going to ever happen.
And so is the liberal left side. They don't want anything mentioned about anything, especially about Native American history and culture, things like this.
Look how bad they got screwed.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Jeez.
Big time.
They're the true Americans.
But I'll tell you, we're going to watch this play out here very shortly. It's coming. It's going to be coming to a head pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm already in Facebook jail, because that way they can't throw me in. So, I'm sure I'll have some comments about all this kind of stuff.
Thank you very much for your opinions on this, and as this unfolds, we will be keeping you up to date.
We're listening.
But let's move on. Ronnie Roberts came up with an interesting topic, which asked Pappy and I this question: What's happened to the Hunter Biden investigation?
I don't. I hear crickets. I don't even think Hunter Biden knows this.
Man, I'm telling you, it was a hot topic. The election comes along, and all of a sudden, you don't hear anything about it. And we're talking treasonous stuff here.
That's right.
I guarantee you, if that was Donald Trump Jr.,
he's probably...
Man, there would be 35 investigative committees up in Washington looking into this.
Well, you know, Big Brother is watching.
Yeah.
He's probably across the street on Pennsylvania Avenue from the White House, being roomies with Bin Laden or something.
There you go. Well, Ronnie, Charlie George said, I would trust Janet Parshall's page with information. She and Craig are both attorneys and conservative Christians, and Craig is working on some of those cases. So I may have to check that out and see what's going on.
I'd have to investigate that.
Yeah.
And Darla Walker says, as far as all government agencies that should be handling it, the whole deal, nothing's going on. They sat on this information for a freaking year.
Ain't it so?
But now that it's been leaked to the public, I'm pretty sure it'll be addressed by true patriots. It'll definitely be ending some deep state careers, especially sneaky rhinos. It's such a big amount of information that when it is finally exposed, everything will fall like dominoes. I have lots of popcorn and just waiting for the poop to hit the fan.
Change the word.
We're in the final lap of the deep state cobble demise. Are y'all ready for some justice?
Yeah, there is that the Cabal, I believe it's how it's pronounced.
Cabal?
Mm-hmm.
I
Cabal.
don't know what the hell that means.
Yeah,
Donna.
it's
Where'd you learn that word?
Well,
she's a flatlander. She's not supposed to know words like this.
Darla is a lot smarter than you give her credit for.
She's a pretty sharp cookie. I already know that.
John Bossy said if Biden is 46, it will be gone like a double wide in a tornado. Good job. Hunter will be cutting deals for the next 4 years and laughing in our faces. Yeah. Billy J. Thomas seemed to agree, saying, it is dead now.
Yeah, the dead dog, dead duck. No telling whose rug they swept this up under, huh? And finally, Mallory Stewart says it amazes me how Democrats just swept this under the rug so fast before the elections.
Ain't it so?
Ain't it a fact, yeah. Do you think it's a little suspicious of the fact that Joe might have been implicated in it? I think he's the one that stirred it up to begin with, yeah. This is another reason the American people should not trust Democrats no matter who they are. There seems to be no Democrat in Congress today with enough balls to say this is not right and we should investigate. Well, they're all on the payroll. The same goes to some of the Republicans as well, who are scared of losing their seat. Whatever happened to old-fashioned honesty and integrity? They're setting a good example for our children to follow.
Ain't it so?
Not.
Ain't it so?
That's well said, Mallory.
Do you have any thoughts on that? No, it's Special K. She normally has all kinds of stuff, but I think she just wants to keep that to herself.
I can hear the wheels turning.
Well, thank you, Ronnie, for that suggestion.
Yeah.
A little update. Thank you very much, all of you. We ask you to send in some of your Christmas decoration photos, and at last count, I think Special K told me we had 49.
Got a pine box full of photos. By God.
As we get ready to put together a Christmas show.
Yeah.
And Thomas Gabriel, our good friend, Johnny Cash's first grandchild that's been on our show a couple of times, has sent us a Christmas video, which we'll be taking a look at in coming shows. And anyway, got a couple of ideas we're going to run past all of you in our next show, so be sure to stay tuned.
And speaking of Thomas Gabriel, if you don't know what he's about, hop on over to thomasgabrielofficial.com.
Yeah.
thomasgabrielofficial.com, and listen to some of these all over YouTube and other platforms with his music. If you hadn't heard him, if you've yet to hear his music, you will be amazed when you do. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, check him out.
Let's take a look at some of the viewer comments we got in. I want to say many thanks, or give many thanks, from Grandpa and Pappy Show to Mark Wilder, those damn hillbillies, Mary Moore and Gretchen Myers, for subscribing to our show on YouTube in the past week. Thank you so much for that.
Welcome aboard. Mark Wilder commented on our show on Corona affecting your Thanksgiving. He said, not at all. The ones who showed up at our house were young and in good health. We refuse to be told what we can or can't do. It is un-American, and we have the right to disagree.
Boy, that deserves one big old by God. Yes, sir. Way to go, Mark.
Yeah.
Paul Adley said the way to unite America again is to root out all of the congressmen and women in the swamp who are not fighting for Americans.
There you go.
We have to get some people in there with guts enough to do what is right for the American people. I wonder, do we even have any honest people left?
Makes one wonder.
It really does. I mean,
who can you trust?
You look at all these election officials that now are saying that they were coerced into doing this stuff. If you were honest in the get-go, why would you even do that?
Well, that's my question, too.
You know.
I mean, he made me do it.
Are you afraid you're going to get your wrist slapped? Oh,
but the money was good, but I shouldn't have done that.
That's just the way it happened.
Right. Marvin Sims sent us a thank you for using his idea on the show, Can America Survive stuff, or this stuff, rather. He said, I really enjoyed the various opinions expressed by your viewers because most of them were just like my opinion. Thanks, guys, and keep it up.
And thank you, Marvin, for that suggestion on the show.
Perfect example of what we're all about.
Absolutely.
I mean, he sent us a topic, we posted it,
and you guys, as usual, gave some great opinions. Let's see. Finally, Ralph Thomas said the silent majority will fight if socialism is introduced to this country. They're trying hard now to train us for it, but I, for one, will not tolerate it.
By God, Ralph.
Ralph, there's a lot of us right there with you.
Yeah.
I saw on Facebook a posting not long ago that somebody said, all of you old guys who are saying that you'd step up and fight when you can't even walk a block without not having any breath left or anything. My answer to that, whoever wrote that, was, I don't have to walk to take aim.
That's right.
I still have a pretty good shot.
They got things that pick you up from far away now.
Yes, they will.
I happen to know this to
You
be
go
so.
cray-cray.
I know this to be so.
Yes, sir. You sure do. But it's been a lot of fun, and we really have enjoyed reading the opinions of you folks. Be sure to
3 times a week we enjoy it.
absolutely, and we want to encourage you to send us in your ideas for show topics.
Yeah.
Any question you may have that our viewers can comment on.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to do that. You can go to our Gmail account, which is right over my shoulder there, the magic of Special K, Grandpa and Pappy at gmail.com.
Yep.
Or
you can hit us up directly on our show website page, which can be found at www.grandpaandpappy.com. It's grandpa with the letter N and then pappy.com.
that is correct.
Hit us up. You'll see that red button and just push that sucker and subscribe to our show.
It's very easy. They'll ask you for a password.
Yeah.
You give a password that only you know, and you can subscribe right there. Watch all 104 episodes.
Or you can push the Facebook button. It'll take you directly to Facebook, Instagram, what is the other? Twitter?
Yes.
Twitter,
Yes.
yeah.
And also the one that most of the people are seeming to use is our Grandpa and Pappy Facebook group page, where you'll see all of the questions that you folks sent in, and you can give your opinions on, and
Get to
you
see
can
them before
also
we edit them, too.
You can also see the raw version.
That's right. But be careful out there, because then we'll get your butt slammed in Facebook. too.
Yeah, and Facebook
Somebody
is
knows.
keeping a very close watch on the Grandpa and Pappy show. That's for sure.
That's why I opened up a MeWe account.
T-shirts.
Just in
How we
case.
looking on T-shirts, Pappy?
T-shirts, we got them still. Got a pile of them, just like the one old Robbio's wearing in this picture right here.
Brent and Lindsay, right there. Lisa.
Yeah, and by the way, you T-shirt people that have T-shirts,
Julie.
send us those
Yeah.
pictures. It's Jules,
Yeah.
little Jules down south.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got them medium through extra large.
Yeah.
Still got a few extra larges left, so $20. I'll save you shipping and just shoot it right to you.
There you go.
Hit us up on the show page or private message, whatever.
And you
Sure,
never
pigeon.
know. With Pappy, he gets crazy and throws in extra stuff too. So
I might donate that toy I sent you the video of last night.
well, there you go. There you go. It's been a lot of fun today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate you every week coming in with your opinions on our show topics.
That's right.
It's what makes this show so much fun.
And we're listening, by God.
We are listening every day. Every day.
We enjoy hearing from you. Send us some topics. Give a couple of parts something to talk about.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
because that's what the show is all about.
You
Here on
bet you.
Grandpa and Pappy. So
That's right.
we invite you to join us for our next show coming up on Friday. Until then, as we normally tell you after every broadcast, hug your kids, everyone, and let them know how much you love them.
Let them know that the Grandpa and Pappy Show loves them too, by God.
Absolutely, and
Love them babies.
we hope you'll join us back on Friday. Until then, take care of each other out there.
Do that, yeah.
Be safe. Take some manners with you, no matter where you go.
There you go. Doesn't hurt to smile.
And God bless America.
and all
Bless
that
your
stuff.
hearts. We'll see you back on Friday. Till then, Pappy and I say so long. Take care. Bye-bye.
Later.